Oh, let me tell you, that music never gets old to me, because when that comes on, it means it's time for Later with Leon. It's your boy, the Destin legend, Leon Rogers, 107.5 WGCI, a iHeart Media station right here in Chicago. But today, we taking it across the land, man. I got some legends on with me. I love it. I love it when my mentors and my big bros and sis come and check in with me. It makes me feel special. First up, man, he's a talented actor, comedian, always been a smooth player from the Himalayas. Give it up for my man, Bruce. Bruce, representing ATL. Shouty.
Cracking, man. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, big bro. And then the Empress, one of the tops in the game, man. You've done it all. BET Comic View, Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? She flooded the airwaves with her talent, and now she's still doing that to the best of her ability today. Miss Hope Flood, how you doing, Queen?
Hi, baby. How are you doing? Hey, Bruce, what's going on?
What's going on?
First of all, let me say it's glad to see you all with this COVID BS that's going on, man. We've not been able to hit stages like we used to, gather like we used to, and just kick it, because comedy was all about camaraderie. Especially in the generation. I want to talk about you guys' generation. I'm gonna start with you first, Hope. You guys came up in a time where, from what I see and coming in behind that generation, you guys were a close-knit family. You supported each other, you cheered each other on, and we could watch the growth from the Def Comedy Jams to the BET Comic View. What was that like, and what are some of the changes you've seen in the camaraderie today?
Yeah, even now, you know, you talk about 30-year friendships. We've seen our kids grow up. We've buried our parents and grandparents, and we've been there for each other. I consider Bruce and you guys my friends, not just my comedy, my coworkers, but I consider you guys my friends. I've stayed at people's houses and comics houses and things. They come and stayed at mine. And so we are a family. And when one cry, one make it, we're there for them regardless, But now these young comics, they have no loyalty. And they're so sensitive. A lot of them are so sensitive. We could take a joke. We could bag on each other. We could clown with each other. And it was all in fun. And we gonna go get something to eat, or something like that. Now they want to fight. They got some beefs right now with some of these young comics and stuff right now online. And it's just disgusting, I think, because at the end of the day, our job is to make people feel better for the time that we have them in the comedy clubs. That's our job. And so I just think they veered from that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the new sensation with social media and the instant gratification, not having to work for it until you get it 10, 15, 20 years. Now you have all these Instagram comics, and I'm not saying nothing against them. I just think that there's a lane for them. Mm-hmm. There's a different lane and stuff. So I think that's what it is. I just think that.
Bruce, would you like to add on to that, sir?
Well, yeah, if we had social media 32, 35 years ago, we'll probably be super duper rich. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is with you new comedians, what they got to understand is social media have helped them so much, and they're winning. They're really winning. And they need to take the advantage of that and start helping each other out and start pulling another hand to grab the other hand. Because if I'm on a show with Hope and we're on a show together and the promoter ain't got all the money, he's not going to have no show. You understand what I'm saying? It's just going, it's gonna go down like that. I'm like, hey, player, if you ain't got Hope money, I know you gave me mine, but let me tell you something. We can't have no show, bro. You need to get her money up in order for this show to happen. That's unity and that's love. And that's what we had for each other. And that's what we got for each other. Everybody's for themselves now. And they got to understand the realness of comedy. See, a lot of comedians, they do stuff now you got to see. We can do comedy you can hear. And like back in the day with Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby, we can listen to the album. Now they got stuff you got to see and they act things out, and it's nothing wrong with that. But the key thing to this whole thing of comedy, man, is just being unified and looking out for each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they are winning, and if they winning, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on that wagon with them. Now, you know what I'm saying?
What I always said was separated. I know a lot of funny people. I swear to God, I know people that work in my local barbershop that when I see them, they make me laugh till I cry.
Right.
But the ability to tell a story and to create a moment is what I think separates comics from just people who are funny. Our ability to go anywhere into any environment and control the room with just our voice and what we're presenting out. I think it gives a broader perspective. Now, I wish I would have thought of the Instagram stuff and all of that. But what I do like are the Instagram comics who take the stand-up side seriously. And
Right.
they reach out to veterans. Hey, how could I be better? How could I do this?
Right.
I got 1 million followers, but I want those 1 million followers to mean something. Have you all ever had any young up and coming, maybe internet comics, just come to you and say, hey, you know, what can I do to be better? How can I hone my craft so I can tell stories like you guys tell stories and actually have my 1 million viewers mean something? Let's start with you first, Bruce.
Yeah, I've had that happen, and I just give them the game, man. I tell them stay consistent, stay funny, use your own material, use your social media to your ability. A lot of them got 10 million followers. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have to do radio anymore. So a lot of them just go on their social media, sell the shows out. But you know, and I'm telling them, I tell them one thing: the funny stuff you do on social media, you're doing it for 3 and 4 minutes. Let me see you do that for 45 to 50 minutes. See, that's the key thing. You know, a monkey could be funny in 3 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? But you got when people come out and see you and they spend their money, give them something back. And work on your craft. Write some material and work on your material and make sure people, when they come out and see you, though, that it's more than what you're showing on social media. And we don't want a roller coaster ride. People don't like roller coaster rides. And what I mean by that with comedians, you know, you're funny up here, then you go back down. You come back up, then you're funny again, and you go back down. You're funny again, then you go back down. People want you to be funny. And in order to do that, it's experience from these 32 years I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So work on your craft, be true to it, and do your own and be your own.
Hope.
Yeah, you know, I do a comedy convention for comedians every year. The first 2 years I did it for females in comedy because I felt that we were so behind our male counterparts. You know, a Black female hadn't had a sitcom in her name on a major network since 1997, and that was Thea Vidal. And I was like, what is wrong with that? Why are we not? You know, people say, well, we had Monique and the Parkers. It wasn't Monique's show. That was Countess Vaughn's show. You know, so we haven't had that since then. So I wanted to know. And so I created this convention. And then 2 years later, the male comedians wanted to come. And so then I rebranded it and changed it to the Comics Rock Convention. And we've done 7 years. We're going to do the 8th year last year, but now I'm doing it in Atlanta this year. And the reason I did it is I took 30 years of what I've learned in this business and I put it in workshops and seminars for comedians to win. It is just not enough to be funny no more. Remember, that used to be enough. It's not enough to be funny anymore. And we have so many other gifts in us and talents that we haven't even stirred up. Look at you doing radio. You didn't know you had that 15, 20 years ago. You know, I didn't know I could do radio when I did radio. So you have to learn how to stir these gifts up in you. And, you know, they have those videos, people doing podcasts now, people are doing plays and all kinds of amazing things that they didn't know that they had, you know, and I think that comics need to tap in to all of their gifts to be amazing. I know that there's some comedians got mad when some reality stars started getting into comedy and, you know, and it went really, really crazy. And you know, I don't think it's nothing to try it. I mean, even Michael Jordan wouldn't play baseball for a while, you know, whatever. It's nothing to try those things. And then you realize, you know what? I can't do it because comedy is not, stand-up is not easy to do. We just make it look easy because we've been doing it so long. So now everybody wants to do comedy because we make it look easy, but it's not easy to get on stage and talk about your problems and your issues. And y'all gonna laugh at this, you know, and to open ourselves up and be transparent. And so I think a lot of the internet comedians, I think what the issue is that you cannot translate those skits into stand-up. Right. And that's the problem. You know, you can't get on stage, you got a dress on, and now you got to do 45 minutes, but you got to go to another character. How does that work? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I think that's the problem. But so I created a vehicle for them to come to be able to learn comedy and learn the craft and do workshops and seminars and voiceovers. And it's over 26 workshops and seminars. And they were like, I didn't even know I could do this. I didn't even know I had this talent. I didn't even know I didn't have to just do stand-up.
Yeah, that's dope. And I've always said this when I talk to young comedians. I say, man, comedy is just a platform. That's just a stage. You can go off. If Jamie Foxx showing you that you could be a comedian and go win the highest award in acting, win
see,
the
Jamie
highest
is
award.
acting like a comedian, though, Leon. That's not
I'm
his
just
first
saying.
love. Jamie really want to be Brian McKnight.
But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we know Jamie Foxx for Wanda and everything off TV being a comedian. So then to go and get the Oscar, then to go and get a Grammy, the tops in music, it's a platform for everything. So that's why I was so happy when I see people like Lil Duval with him living my best life. I'm like, we can do it. D-Ray, who's a very accomplished rapper, doing his thing. Like, I love seeing that because we're so versatile.
Yes.
And I remember Bernie Mac saying one thing to me to touch on what you said, Bruce. He said, hey, son, let me tell you something. If you think you got 60 minutes, you only got 45 because 15 of that crap ain't going to work wherever you go.
Right.
And I always thought like that. And I just think, for me, comedy is just so exhilarating. It's a rush. I like doing radio. It's a good check and it's good insurance. But getting on that stage in front of people, man, and some dude came in the front row, you see he was mad. And then you start talking to him and he laughing by the end of the show, or a woman. That just is the greatest thing to me. Hope, I'm going to stay with you because I want to ask you this question. If somebody had given you a heads up on the pandemic, like, yo, pandemic coming down the line, we're going to be shut down for a year and a half, what would you have done different if you'd have known this was coming?
I just transitioned into another business. I've always been a hustler. Even on the comedy shows, while y'all selling CDs and DVDs and stuff, I got purses and jewelry and sunglasses and all kind of stuff. So I just transitioned to my cannabis business. And that took off, because people wanted to heal. People lost their jobs, so now they can smoke or do things like that. So I just transitioned to another business, so I always had that business, but I wasn't pushing it as much, because like you said, my comedy is my first love. And so, and I was on the road, I was working and things like that. But we never saw this coming, just like we never saw the internet coming. We never saw social media coming. We just never saw this stuff coming. And I think Barack tried to warn us when he created Obamacare and he tried to get it in place, but nobody would listen to him, but he did get to pass Obamacare so people can go to the doctor and stuff, and nobody really understands that.
Wait. Do you think Barack had a little, like,
no, he knew
some
he
BS?
tried to tell them. He tried to tell them. He did. Okay. He tried to tell them. He said it was coming. He said it was coming, and 45, 46 ignored him and tried to just get rid of everything.
No, he was 44, 45 ignored
45 tried to get everything out of place or whatever, but he knew this was coming. He tried to warn. Bush knew. They've been trying to warn us.
I never heard that perspective before. I've heard a lot of things about this, but not that they knew that it was coming down the pipeline, and that's why they tried to invent Obamacare. Listen, we got to go to break. Bruce, when we come back, I want to ask you the same thing. If you knew the pandemic was coming down, what would you have done different? We're going to be right back. More with Bruce, Hope Flood, Comedy Legends, right here on the Destin Legends Show, Later with Leon. We'll be right back. Fox Soul. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Later with Leon. Shout out to everybody that's joining us on the Fox Soul app. Shout out to everybody that's joining us on the Fox Soul YouTube channel. If you like what you're seeing, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get in the comments, holla at your boy, man. We got two legends on the show tonight. Bruce, my man, my mellow, and of course the beautiful Miss Hope Flood. Now, Bruce, before we left, I asked Hope about if she knew the pandemic was coming down the pipeline, would she have done anything different, or what would she do? I asked you the same question, bro, because you're a hustler too.
Well, I'm a straight up pimp extraordinaire, so, I was always taught prepare for a rainy day, and it ain't necessarily got to be raining. You know what I'm saying? So I've been prepared. I've been preparing for this, for anything to happen. You know what I'm saying? So financially, I was set. I put that money up, and I honestly still paid my employees through this whole pandemic.
That's love.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not bragging about that, but I just knew if I didn't pay them, they're gonna be wanting to borrow some money.
Right?
You understand what I'm saying? And you can't lend no brothers no money because they forget what they owe you. You know what I'm saying? So
what I did back, huh?
But what I did different, Leon,
I back, Bruce.
Yeah. And then they give back to you with an attitude. Here go your little money. They wasn't little when I gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here go your little money. But what I'd have did different, man, I'd have stepped my stripping game up, as a male stripper. And I just let them know I'm the world biggest male stripper, and I'm getting it to them. My stage name would have been Hard Candy, and I'd have did churches, motherboards, Bible studies. I'd have got all that little money, man.
All that little money.
Old folk homes. It didn't matter.
Hope I need an ounce to forget this visual in my mind right now. I need some please.
I mean, let me have that imagination of being a stripper. I don't know why people think I can't be no stripper. You know what I'm saying? But if I had the body, I would do it right now. You know what I'm saying? I have a G-string the size of a jump rope. Did you hear me play?
Let me tell you something about you, Bruce.
It would be breathtaking.
Let me tell you something about you, Bruce. You so smooth. I ain't never seen you without a bad woman on your arm. I ain't never seen you without you so smooth, and you're so amazing and generous and all of that. So, there's a place for big men strippers.
What the thing is,
there's a whole market for that.
The reason you see me with nice looking women at the time is because I'm really good to them. I'm very nice to them. I'm very respectful. I treat them like a lady, but then I have to check them like a father sometimes.
Well, for me, big bro, you know what it is. Every time I see you, I'll be like, what you got new in the garage?
Yeah, I got them calls. I got them calls.
Yes, sir. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know, Bruce, without sharing too much, I'm gonna let him tell y'all. Yeah. But old school whips.
Oh yeah.
Ain't too many people in ATL messing with my man, G.
Now, I got a lot of Buicks. I collect old Buicks. I got a 63 Riviera. I got a 69 Riviera. I have a 70 Riviera. I have a 70 Wildcat convertible. I have a 68 Deuce and a quarter. I have a 68 Skylight. I have a 60 Skylight convertible. I have a 65 Skylight. I'm talking all these are showroom now.
Well, we call them slabs. That Deuce and a quarter, we call that a slab.
Yeah, my granddad said Deuce and one quarter. You know what I'm saying? Then we ain't gonna even talk about the trucks. I got all kind of trucks, man. So that's my hobby. My one be like, why you got so many cars? I'll be like, why you got so many shoes? You understand what I'm saying?
A person.
Don't argue with me. I bought the cars and I also bought your shoes. You understand?
See?
So now Hope, Bruce done told us if he wasn't doing comedy in so many words, he'd probably be out there shaking that thing for a little
No. I ain't no so many words. I will be stripping, player. I'm talking about getting it to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about breaking down. I did try to do some table dancing, but I broke the legs on the table and they started putting cinder blocks and that worked real good. So when
I can see it right now. The combo, you and Ronnie Jordan side by side out here.
Getting it to him. Getting it to
zeros.
That's on right.
The clock. What would you be doing if you weren't doing comedy? If Hope Flood wasn't doing comedy, what like if you never got into comedy, what would you have been doing?
That's a good question.
Well, see, I knew I wanted to be in the business since I was 5.
Okay.
Everything. So I was in every school play. I was in every talent show. I discovered stand-up in 1986. But I knew I wanted to be in the business, but I also wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a criminal defense lawyer because I love thugs. And so I figured if I can be a lawyer, I can get all my thugs out of jail, my brothers and, and my family members. And, shout out to all the brothers on lockdown. Y'all know I was the first person to ever put stuff about penitentiary men on TV, 1987 Comic View. I was the first person to ever talk about the brothers locked
That's
up.
Right.
Would get out of prison and someone would come to me crying and say, you don't know how much that helped us get through that time. Yeah. So I got a brother on death row right now. My son's father did 20 years in California State Penitentiary, so I've always had a love for my brothers on the lockdown. I've always had a love. So I would have been a lawyer.
Yeah, I feel that 100% when you say that people on the inside while penitentiary. I had a good buddy of my man O, who was doing 14 years. And my third time on Comic View at the end of my set, I was like, free O, you know what I'm saying? And shouted him out. And he hit me up. He said, man, bro, just to know that you was thinking about me, man. I
got him an extra top ramen and stuff, huh?
That's my lifelong friend. You talking about the 80s.
Yes.
Bruce, I want to throw it to you for real quick because you got started in comedy in the 80s as well. What was that scene like in the 80s? Because I hear Hope Flood was talking about it. And I remember those days coming up watching it, you know what I'm saying, before I got involved in the late 90s. But what was that scene like in the 80s? Because it was some heavy stuff going on out here, Bruce.
Well, for me, though, it was really scary, but it was something that I knew I loved. I was scared to do it because there was so many haters out there. I mean, haters are just like grapes, they grow in bunches. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it was so many haters out there, but I didn't care. I had to have tunnel vision. when I first got on stage, I knew that's where I should have been my whole entire life. And it was scary. Like I said, it was scary, but I didn't care. I said, I'm just gonna have to, if I'm gonna take this butt whipping, I'm gonna have to take it. But this is something I'm gonna do. And it's just something you got to do. And like Hope said earlier, we make it look so easy. It's people sitting in the audience like, I can do that. No, you can't. No, you can't. When you get up there, you got to know how to read the crowd. You got to know how to feel the crowd. You got to know where to go. You got to know what to say when you get up there in order for people to move. You know what I'm saying? So if, you know, it was the best thing ever happened to me in my life. My mother didn't recognize me, God bless her soul. But when I first got on stage, I showed on, I didn't tell her I was on TV. And I said, look at this guy on TV. And she looked at this guy and she said, he looks just like you. And I say, that is me. She didn't believe it. She said, no, he funny. You know, so my mother didn't even realize it was me, you know, but it was a scary feeling, a good scary, not a scary. It was a good scary, but I knew it was something going to happen. I could just feel it in my spirit.
All right. Listen, we got to run the break, but I want y'all to do this while we're going to break. I want both of you all your top 5, but not your normal comics, not the Richard Pryor's and stuff of the world. Your top 5 slept on comics. Top 5 slept on. Like you put them up against anybody, even the GOATs. The GOATs are the GOATs that don't nobody know about. When we come back, we're going to get those lists from Hope Flood, Bruce. I'm excited, man. We got Def Jam and BT Comic View Legends. Y'all better stop messing with me. And I met Ric Flair this weekend. I might put the video and keep playing. Woo! Later with Leon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Later with Leon, man. I got Bruce, Hope Flood on with me today. This is the Legends Show. Listen, so before we left, I told you guys to get your list together. I wanted your top 5 slept on comedians ever, the GOATs underneath the GOATs. Because, you know, we always say Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Bill Cosby, George Carlin, those. Who are you guys GOATs underneath the GOATs, where people don't give them that status, but really as comics, we know we look at stuff differently. And like these are comics. All right. Bruce, I'm gonna
give you the first name.
Okay.
Downtown Tony Brown out of
Detroit. Amazing.
I mean, we slept on him. I mean,
tap that solenoid. Tap the solenoid. You got to tap the solenoid on it now.
I mean, when Def Jam first started, he was on tour. He was rocking. Downtown Tony Brown was rocking it to a very underrated, extremely funny, and a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I got one more for you. I think Rex Garvin. Cold Funk. He used to dress up. He was from Mount Vernon, New York. He used to dress up in the 70s outfit, full jumpsuit, 8-track tape, Little Debbie snack cake in his pocket, chicken wings in aluminum foil, you know what I'm saying, in one pocket, platforms, mirror shades.
Kill it.
People slept on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you another comedian that really makes me laugh is Tony Roberts from Detroit. Tony Roberts. I mean, so totally underestimated, you know, and we see these guys and we communicate, and I like watching them.
Yes.
Because they're so funny. I just like watching them, you know. And I hope you got any you want to put out there?
Oh yeah.
You got 2 left.
I got 2 more.
You got 2.
I really 3.
I'm gonna tell you another comedian I like people slept on, Leon Rogers. You know, a lot of people slept on him. Because I work with him many a times, and he got some bits, well, a lot of bits, but he got these 2 bits that just really, really makes me laugh. And one of them is Walking Like Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
he does, and the other one is when Asian people get drunk, and he started talking like this.
Look, Bruce, we had to teach people a lesson out at the casino because they was us that night, and Bruce set them straight. I appreciate you for that.
No problem, man. And my last one, and I can't get nobody no love but this, and that's me. A lot of people have slept on me, you know what I'm saying? But I just keep doing my thing, keep pulling. I have made a great living and continue to make a great living. So just keep looking, because I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon.
Oh,
I got some out of
You got a list. I see you looking down.
I got a list. I start with my boy Marvin Dixon. I think
Yeah.
Marvin is so funny. I think he's so
Miami,
a
baby.
great guy.
Yes.
They slept on him. Tony Tone, one of the best
Yeah.
impressionists ever. I could watch
World.
Soul Circus ringmaster for years. My kids love Tony Tone.
Tony Tone. Bo P. I could watch Bo P.
Yes.
I could watch them forever. These guys, I can literally watch them forever. I mean, I ain't never laughed so hard where they want to put me out the comedy club laughing at them and stuff so hard. Marcus Combs. I love Marcus.
Chi-Town. Tusi, what's up?
Yeah.
Already.
Marcus Combs. Big Sean Larkins. I mean, I'm just talking about people who are clever.
You know.
They write and they're not afraid to try stuff. Right. And my girl, Lunell. Lunell is getting it right now.
Yeah.
Lunell is getting it right now. And so she inspires me to get it. May he rest well. Rodney Winfield. Rodney Winfield was my mentor. And he was amazing at what he did. And through all of that drunk was a lot of wisdom. He had been around so long. He had seen it all. He had seen it all. Yeah. And one of my other favorites, Cheryl Underwood. I know she getting it, but she's the way she played that thing on the View or the Talk, whichever one she with that Sharon Osbourne. You ain't never seen a white woman get fired like that.
I get fired. I'm just gonna go ahead and quit. Right. She didn't get fired. She said, "I'm just gonna go ahead and quit." She knows she wasn't gonna win. I'm gonna go ahead and quit. And
Cheryl played it.
Have a great day.
So great, so brilliant. And last but not least, they slept on her. They slept on her, but she all right. Don't call it a comeback. Myself, Hope Flood. Okay,
you better tell the truth. You better tell the truth, girl.
Absolutely. No, but listen, see, and I think a lot of people out there in the world, you know, they get all the big names pumped to them, and they forget. It's so for me, my list, I couldn't do just fine. Hope I'm like you.
I couldn't.
Earthquake is somebody that I don't care where I see that brother at. This brother, rest in peace, Tyler Craig. One of the most amazing storytellers I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
Tony Woods. Amazing storyteller. Like, I like the storytellers. Tony Schofield, my big brother out of Chicago. Yeah. I think he gets slept on a lot. I'm gonna go another Chicago brother who gave me my start in my career, Damon Williams. I think Damon Williams.
I could have did 20. I could have really did 20 or 25, Leon, actually.
Melanie Camacho.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lavelle Crawford.
Man, it's so many people out here, and I always encourage people to get out and just go see people. When you hear about a name, to me, one of the funniest ever, JJ from the SIP. Don't go in there, Batman.
Oh yeah.
JJ is phenomenal.
But you know what happened, Leon, is, and I'm not, this is not a dig, and I don't want you to get no mail. The Kings of Comedy changed comedy because now you got to have 5 or 6. Remember, Bruce, back in the day, you just say BT Def Jam comedians and people would come. And now you gotta have 67 headliners for people to say they even want to go see it. And I'm not saying that those headliners were funnier than any of these people we just named, you know, or whatever. But that they raised the bar of comedy because it says now you're saying you have to have 5 headliners for people to want to go and see comedy instead of people just going to see comedy. There was a promoter out of Atlanta, Al Tillman. He just used to put comedians on $10, $15 BT Def Jam. You didn't have to say their name. People would just come. And then the Kings of Comedy changed that, I believe.
But Hope, let me ask you a question. Even with that being said, because there were comedians like Chris Rock, comedians like Eddie Murphy, comedians like Dave Chappelle, Bill Cosby that could sell out arenas by themselves.
Sure. Yes, they could.
So how did those 4 guys strip that away? And why can't we get that back if we do a show with Bruce, Hope Flood, Monique, and Earthquake? Like, why doesn't it hit the same anymore?
Well, no, you just said some major names though, because it used to just be Bruce and then maybe a Marvin Dixon or Tony Tone or you know, a Big Sean or something. It was never all of those bigger names because Quake and Monique them can sell out those venues as well. Bruce can sell out those venues by themselves now and stuff. And the Richards and the Bills and all of them, they're from another era, I believe. They're from a whole totally another era. People were going to those concerts, but not like they are now, or not like they were going and stuff when Black comedy exploded, when Def Jam and BET came on and stuff, because they didn't have that type of platform. It's almost like America Got Talent or all of them. Those made instant stars, whereas Chaka Khan and Mickey Howard, all they had to work for it, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a different genre, different time.
It is.
It is. And now if people would put their money together, like the Get Down tour, those 5 guys, the DL, George Lopez, Charlie,
Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, and then made Charlie rest in peace. They put their money together. And so they eliminated the promoter and stuff, and they put their money together, and then they split all the money, and they would sell out venues and stuff. Why we can't do that? Quit always dealing with promoters.
I want to do it. I do it. But see, now the new kids, the new jacks, they think that the younger comedians are the funniest comedians in the world until they see us.
Yes.
A lot of them don't know us. And when they look at these new comedians, oh, they the funniest thing in the world. And they see you, they be like, oh my God, where have you been? I've been around for about 35 years.
Yeah.
You just hadn't saw me.
I'm new to it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not new to this. I am true to this. Yes. And I am seasoned. Yes. And I'm ready to go.
I see a lot of them, Leon, and I'll be in the back. Sometimes I'm the headliner. And being a woman in this business is so much different than being a man in this business. We have so much more obstacles because a lot of times they don't think that we're funny. So we have to go in there already proving ourselves. Then these younger cats have no respect for the headliner, and they want to burn the stage up thinking you can't follow them. And I'm not saying I'm funny. Bruce said it best. I'm seasoned. I know where to go. I can read the audience. I can look at the crowd. I can say this. Oh, okay. So the last 3 comics talked about sex. Okay, now I got to go get their mind out the gutter, talk about sex, then bring them back up again. A new comic 5 or 10 years in won't know that or know how to do that. Or if you get silence, I had to learn that silence doesn't necessarily mean you're bombing. Silence sometimes means they're listening.
That's a word.
And we have to get comfortable with that.
That's a word.
You know, and that's what a lot of times I go and I'm the headliner of these shows and all these young brothers want to go up before me and burn the stage up. And then I get up there and I just do what I do. And then they'll come up to me and say, man, we didn't know you could follow me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm from LA. I've been in some trenches right around here.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I've been in some trenches in LA.
And what they got to understand about the business, it's not about I can follow you. It's about having a balanced show and having a great show where people can just see a show that's just really good. Because one thing people, they never remember in between funny. They always remember funny and they always remember not funny. You know, the in-between brother, they're like, oh, hey, bro, you did a good job, bro. How you doing, bro? And, you know, they don't remember that. So we have to bring on the funny. And I used to tell young comedians sometimes, I know you're trying to burn me, but you can't. I already see what your loophole is. I know what I need to do when I go out there and just set the stage on fire.
Well, you know what I tell them, Bruce, a lot of times, and I make them get to thinking. I say, one day, if you're very lucky and you work very hard, one day you're going to be the headliner. Yep. And you're going to want some respect. Yep. One day. Yep. And a lot of them don't make it. A lot of them don't. They get in it for the wrong reasons. They're not in it for the love of the fans or the love of the comedy or the love of healing people, because laughter is a medicine. And I charge every last comedian is that we are ministers of laughter. People go to church to hear the word. They want to hear their favorite church song. They want to hear the pastor. People come to the comedy club for the same reason.
Well, Hope, I tell comics all the time when I'm on a show, they do too much time. I said, yo, I'm not mad at you because you did well, bro. I'm mad at you because you're limiting my fans, my time with my fans.
Because they can't see you.
Here that are here to see me get out for 45 minutes. And by you going over 10, 15, now I only got 30. I'm cheating my fans who want to see me.
That's right.
Like, they weren't here for you. They were here for me. You probably got some people out there, but I got people out here for me too.
I've been there. And
at the end of the day, the respect thing is big, because going back to you, Bruce, when the last show we did, we was out at the Horseshoe in Indiana, and the new comics that was on the show, I don't say no names, we don't do that.
Right.
He was like, yeah, he need to go out first. And Bruce said, y'all can put him out first if y'all want to. He said, that's gonna change y'all careers. He said, I'm not worried, but it's gonna change y'all careers. And then D-Ray came in and said the same thing. It was like, yeah, y'all might want to go ahead out, do y'all sets.
Yeah.
And then let's go Leon, me and Bruce and call it a night. Because if y'all flipping any other way, Bruce and them had to work to get the crowd back. Yeah. And we had a great time, man. But I just think egos sometimes get in the way of young performers. But it takes that one moment. It takes that one moment. I'm going to tell you this. We're going to go to break. It takes that one moment for them to realize that this is real. And when we come back, I want to talk about some of the greatest bombs you've ever seen. Don't get no names, but just get.
But just understand that's ego. Ego for what? They ain't sold out in the arena.
We'll be right back. More later with Leon. Hope Flood. Bruce. We come back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. I'm your host, the Destined Legend, Leon Rogers. Remember, if you like what you're seeing on Fox Soul, man, follow us, use the app, follow our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit them likes button, and get in the comments and holler at your boy. I got two legends on today, Bruce, and Hope Flood. And before we left, this is a fun part that I like talking about because it's comics. We don't rip all the time.
No.
Sometimes, it go left. And we all witnessed some major bombs. And I know you have, Bruce. I'm going to start with you because you used to host 559, which was Gladiator School for comedians. That, the Peppermint Lounge, BBQs, and the Click on Saturday nights in Chicago, hosted by Diane Corder. If you earned your stripes there, you could perform anywhere.
In the world.
Now, what's so funny about without giving the comic's name?
I'm not gonna give a name, but I done seen him come in and die a great death. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him come in and rip it, and then the second time they came, it's almost like a sniper just knocked him off the stage. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I met Bruce.
It's always like the New York comedian. I did Peppermint Lounge, man. This is nothing. I could do this. Did they get? I said, this is not peppermint.
That invitation was a little too close. I know you're talking like.
I say, listen now. I say you're dealing with strippers, brothers that hustle all day,
dudes fighting dogs.
Yeah, I'm talking about dudes will fight a pit bull with their bare hands. And they want to see something funny. So when I'm gonna tell you how to approach the room, and I can tell you how to make it happen for you. I don't need that. Then they go up 3 minutes. The first thing you say, they need to wrestle in this bad boy. So I've seen him die a great death in Club 559.
I met Bruce in 559 on the creative tour. People would quit the creative tour right before 559. They would get the extra money. Remember, Bruce? They would give them extra money up front, which was a mistake. Yeah. And then you go do 559. People like, you know what? I got to go home. My dog's sick. My toenail, my gout is flared up. My glaucoma. And they would quit. So I was like, I'm going. So I go, and I had already heard the rumors about the room. But Bruce come up to me. He said, Hope, I heard about you. I heard you great. I need you to do a tight 20. I said, Bruce, I heard about you. Pleasure to meet you. I'm doing 10. And I want my money. I want all of it. I'm doing all of it. 10 minutes. And because you can't get nothing past it. Because what it is, like Bruce said, it was the strippers' night off. Yeah. Every night off. And the brothers come in there trying to get all their money that they spent on them at Magic City. That's right. I met Outkast in there. Tupac and Biggie had just died. And I met Big Boy and Andre in there. And I had a joke. I said, boy, two of the baddest rappers that died. Y'all might have a shot. Right. And then they blew up. After that. They blew up right after that. And stuff.
My date with 559, my heart was beating because I heard the legend of it. And I was there with a comedian. I ain't gonna say no name. He was headlining. He had a couple of movies out back to back. He was doing his thing.
Yeah.
And Bruce come up to me, man. I was intimidated. Man, his big brother come past the suit. He say, look here, young blood. Damon told me, Damon speaks highly of you. That's why you here. Because I had just done Marvin's Room in Miami. That was a tough one too. Coconut Grove.
Miami
Nights. I had just done that. I came up. I said, let me stop at Atlanta. He say, look, David speaks highly of you, but I'm going to tell you what. I know you're funny, you're good. I've seen you before, so this is what I want you to do. Go up there, give me a hot, I know what they say on the thing, give me a hot 5. Do your Jordan joke out the gate. I say, I'm like a deer in the headlights. I say, okay, big bro, I got you. I go up there, he say, don't say, hey, how you doing? How y'all doing out there? None of that.
None of that.
Go up there and go into your joke. Man, went up there, went in my joke, ripped it, did the Jordan.
Had a great set.
Came off. He gave my money. Said, that's what I'm talking about, young blood. Now go enjoy yourself. I said, yes, sir, I am. And I'm relaxed now. I feel like I'm from Atlanta. I'm mingling with the crowd. Hey, kinfolk, what it do, man? Baby, let's go get some drink down, shouting them, right? Man, he send the headliner. He tell the headliner the same thing. Listen, I know they said 30. Man, give me a high 15. We get on out of here. No, man, I'm fresh off of whoop wop the bam 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 with so and so and so. So let me rock. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God.
A great death.
And look, what made it even funnier, as he was dying on stage, Bruce is walking behind him doing an airplane like it's about to crash. But he don't see it. Crowd going crazy laughing. He think it's because he ripping. Bruce acting like a plane finna crash, and they going nuts.
Because he crashed.
I'm gonna tell you something. A fight started in there. What happened was that's when the bankhead bounce came out. So
that's
Bruce was in between them to get him back. He would make him do the bankhead bounce. And some brother bankhead bounced a little too to the left and touched another brother. And that's when the fight started. And my boy was there. He picked me up and threw me over into the bar and over into the pit of the bar. And he looked at me. He said, Hope, why are you here? I said, $100. I mean, $100. I tried to get my money up out of it.
Yo, so sometimes bombing can get comics canceled, right? The cancel culture is a big thing out here. You say the wrong thing as a comedian now, people on your tail about it. So my good friends, my writer man, Mr. Davis and company, they put together a little something about the cancel culture. So I want y'all to take a look.
All right.
Imagine you're getting ready to watch your favorite adult entertainment, and you realize that the cancel culture has affected 1 billion.
I can't wait for you to give me your larger than average African-American genitalia, which is simply a coincidence and not to propitiate an age-old stereotype.
Well, I too look forward to giving you pleasure with my above average genitals, which would definitely upset several older members of your family if they were to ever find out. Guess I have several friends who would like to join in on this agreeable fun.
I'm very eager to indulge in crude intercourse with you all, not because of anyone's age, race, or religion. It is because I am a very proud, independent woman who has made a stern decision to engage in a consensual, STD-free gangbang.
Flaccid as hell right now.
Yeah, man. That's a damn shame when they start affecting the adult industry where you can't say what you want to feel. Talk about that, though, as comedians, because Hope, I know for a fact you have never been one to mince words. Even when you coming on the spiritual tip, you tell it like a T.I. is.
Always.
Now, with this whole cancel culture out here, and be careful what you label people, and I identify as this, don't say this to me. Have you found it tougher to be that real with your material? Because, we've seen some people get put on the away pal because they said the wrong thing.
Yeah, like when Tracy Morgan talked about his son, and he said his son. He just
said
my son was gay and stuff. And he had to do all kind of free events for the community and stuff. I think people have just gotten so sensitive. I think that when they start censoring us, it's because we say what people want to say and cannot say. That's what we do. We say what people in the audience, and like, I say this and that. That's why it's like when you see a show and you have 5 men and no women, it's like, and then mostly women come to the comedy club, you don't have a representation for the women there. And so I still have a joke. I talk about retarded people, and people are like, you can't say that no more. And I'm like, okay, until they shut me down. I ain't got that big and stuff where they're gonna shut me down. But I do have a joke about retarded. Where I come from, it's called retarded, whatever. But yeah, I think that it's a sad day. It's a sad day when we get shut down. Because
Bruce, have you ever been on stage and something came out of your mouth and in your mind you're like, oh man, I might have found it.
All the time. I never worry about it. I just had to deal with it, because one thing about gay people, I mean, if you're gay and live your life. You understand what I'm saying? Quit getting upset because somebody say something about it, because you are different. You understand what I'm saying? So somebody gonna say something to you and about you. So don't get mad because nobody don't accept you. If you're comfortable with who you are, be who you are. You understand what I'm saying? But Yeah, like preachers will do it right now. They use the word punks and bulldaggers. I don't know where that word come from. Punks and bulldaggers. You know what I'm saying? So they get mad at them, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're comfortable with who you are, live your life.
Yeah.
And I got one thing to say, Leon. I got one thing to say to the New Jack comedians. When I come to approach you about a show, and if I ask you about a show, naturally I'm gonna make sure you get paid.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I asked this one guy, I want you to do a show with me. The first thing he said, how much you paying? I said, hold on, player. You ain't been seen walking by TV, much less on TV.
Right.
So if I ask you about a show, I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of.
Absolutely.
So I tell all the comedians, quit worrying about the money and do it for the love. Because if you do it for the love, the money gonna follow.
Profit go. I always say that. I preach the 5 P's. I preach passion, pride, profit. Passion, pride, perseverance, profit, and philanthropy. Those are the 5 P's. You know what I'm saying? If you got that passion, and then you got that pride and that passion, and you got that perseverance, because we hear no a lot. People think we don't hear no. Even at you guys' level, you hear no. Hope, I want to talk about being a woman in comedy. You spoke on it earlier about sometimes you all are not represented correctly. How does it make you feel when you're on a show and the host says, oh, we got a special treat tonight? Like, just because you're a female comic on the show, like, instead of just saying, my next comic coming to the stage.
That's all you need to do.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like if you said, give it up for the next gay comedian. Nobody has to know that and stuff. You're gonna see that.
Right.
You're gonna see it on a woman when you see, whatever. Y'all ready for a female? Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Right. And it doesn't resonate with me because I tell jokes like a man. Even though I'm a woman, I tell jokes like a man and stuff because I was taught by male comedians and stuff. So it's very heartbreaking because why can't we just be? Why does it have to be? Nobody says, y'all ready for a male comedian? Nobody says that.
Nobody says that. No. Nobody
says that. So why do you have to say that? Just run my credits and bring me on,
right.
and that's it and stuff. And I have to fight those fights with a lot of these new Jack comedians and stuff. And I don't know, are y'all saying it as a setup? Are you trying to set us up for failure? I don't know why they say it, whatever. I had one guy tell me, I was in DC doing a show. He said, this next woman, she could have been a queen of comedy. She could have been this. She could have. I said, now, we know as comedians, the intro is so important. The intro is so important, whatever. And so I had to address it. And I was like, you could have been this, or you could have been that. You could have been, and the crowd was going crazy and stuff. But I don't like it, because we have to work so hard. We got to look better. I tell female comedians all the time, the men can come on stage. Y'all can have beat up tennis shoes on, or a t-shirt, or white beat, and still kill. Let us come on stage. She on that stuff, or something wrong with her, or what's wrong with her? What is she going through? We always have to look better. We always have to dress.
Hope that apply for all of y'all except Dirty South. My girl come on stage and white beat Dirty South. Dirty South. I didn't see her do it.
She better now, Leon. She better now.
And you know what?
One underrated.
Toe it up.
Another one's underrated. I'm sorry, Dirty South.
And she's funny. And she's funny. She's funny.
Funny.
And that's why a lot of comedians, most comedians, when they was Christian comedians, they always say this Christian comedian coming up. And when you do that, it put people in a different frame of mind of thinking. So you got to be almost perfect when you come up there on stage. So, and when they say, y'all ready for a female, it puts people in a different frame of mind about a woman. They shouldn't do that. You say, next to me, you better have your seatbelt on because it's going to be a funny comedian.
Because they always think that we're not funny anyway, Leon.
Right.
They always think they're not funny and stuff. You know how many guys come to me like, you funny for a female. I'm like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like saying you cute for a dark-skinned girl. I told my daughters the first time a guy ever tell you that, tell him to what? You know what I'm saying?
I had a dude tell me, you look tall on TV. I say, get a bigger TV.
Right.
You get a bigger TV, I look taller.
Or when they say you got a cute face for a big girl, it's like,
what is that?
What is that? It's so, yeah. So all of those things is things that female comedians, we have to get over, and we have to stop being so emotional with everything because it is what it is. And then even with Monique trying to break these barriers down, I had to call Monique and I said, we rise with you. Me and Lunell were the only female comedians to call her and say, we rise with you, Mo. Whatever you're trying to do, we ride with you.
Right. That's dope. Hey, we'll be right back. More later with Leon. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to find out what Bruce and Hope got going on before we get out of here, man. I appreciate them so much for hanging out with me. We'll be right back. More later with Leon. Welcome back to Later with Leon. I got Hope Flood and Bruce. Listen, before we get out of here real quick, I want to ask you all the disparaging differences between white comics in LA and black comics. It seems like they put a lot more of them on and they'll take one or two of us. Hope Flood, how do we correct that and what do you got going on?
We corrected by coming together. All of those white comedians all came up together struggling. The Adam Sandler, the Vince Vaughns, the Seth Rogen, all of those guys came up together and they said, if one of us make it, we all gonna make it. And they'll throw Chris Rock in there every now and then and stuff. And we won't do that. We're so scared that you're gonna get something over somebody else that we won't do that. And that's really what the problem is. Y'all can look for me, hopeflood.com for all your cannabis and CBD needs. Go to highhopes.biz. I ship all over the world and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm healing people with comedy and with cannabis.
Bruce.
Hey, I totally agree with Hope Flood, but if we're going to make it, we do have to pull somebody along with us. Don't just do it by yourself. Pull somebody with you, man, and make sure you do what you say you're going to do. Be a man of your word. You know what I'm saying? And you can reach me at my Bruce, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook if you want to check your boy out.
I appreciate both of you legends, Hope Flood, Bruce. I love y'all. My girl Tammy Mack, the Tammy Mack Late Show is up next, man. New hours next week. Stay tuned. Happy Cinco de Mayo, because I won't be here on the 5th. Later with Leon. You see something bad in these streets, you say something. Peace. We gone.
Holla back.